News making headlines. We are still seeing really high prices. 45 now, turning our attention to other big news making headlines. We are still seeing really high prices when it comes to eggs. A price outlook from the USDA estimates that egg prices are going to increase about 20% this year. That's compared to about 2.2% for food prices in general. Government data shows the average price for a dozen of eggs was $4.15 last month. And when you compare it to what it looked like prior to that, it is a big jump. According to the Consumer Price Index, it's about a 36% increase from last December. The high price is being driven by the ongoing bird flu outbreak as well as inflation. The USDA says that bird flu has killed over 17 million eggs-laying hens in November and December, and that is nearly half of all birds killed by the virus last year.
Can you hear me?
News making headlines.
Yeah, sorry. We can't hear anything for some reason. It was fine just a second ago, and now we have nothing. Let me see if I can refresh the page.
Oops. This is 2025 that you're seeing that the eggs have been. I didn't think my microphone was on this whole time. Wow. So the eggs have gone up, and everything's going up. It's gone 10.69%, right? Of the eggs. So this year alone that's been happening. So as far as that, now, can you guys hear me now?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, so it was my fault. I forgot to turn on my microphone. Hey, it happens, man. My other mic is on my audio podcast, but I forgot to turn it on here. I think I need to eat some more eggs, right? What do you think?
Yeah, there you go. Helps the brain.
All right, guys. So you started hearing the news and the statistics and everything that's happening, with the eggs, and they're killing so many chickens. And what started y'all's adventure into? Because I remember when you first started getting the chickens. And anyway, who's your friend there? Who do you got there?
This is Tui. This is
Tui. Nice.
One of our roosters.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So let's. So how did this all start for you guys? Just to start going with it.
Oh, so about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. It's my fault. It's the wife's fault.
Okay.
I wanted chickens. I've wanted them for a while, but when we moved up here and got a little bit more land, we have about an acre. We decided, okay, we could do this. We had a partial coop already built that just needed some work, a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work.
And did a lot of research before we got them, and made our chicken coop like Fort Knox, and like dug
nice
hardware cloth like 18 inches into the ground, and made it so that predators are kind of like your main issue. So
no snakes, no bobcats, because we've got everything around here in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Right.
And luckily, we've only had one raccoon issue.
Okay.
And it's not with our coop.
Yeah, no, it didn't get inside.
But it became a whole family project. The kids helped. And once we got it all settled, we'd, gotten some babies from Tractor Supply, because that's where everybody starts, right? Not knowing better.
Yes, exactly.
And God, I think we started with about 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say like 9 of them made it, and like he's one of them. This is one of our OG.
Is it original, huh?
He's
is.
Nice.
and we've got 2 separate flocks now. And the second flock is all babies of our own that we ended up raising and hatching in incubators on our own.
I saw that on the Facebook. Yes,
Yeah.
I did. Okay.
So it's become this whole major science project that we never thought we'd get this involved in, but we did.
Now, is there like research? Did y'all research it a little bit before you got into it, or is it just something that you just decided from one day to the next?
Oh no, quite a bit. Of course, I love animals. I mean, that's not like, so it wasn't a far stretch for us, but and we knew offhand that, it wasn't going to be a financial investment, because it really isn't. It's more, you do it for the love of the animals and to know what your eggs are, where they're coming from, what they're being fed, what your chickens are being fed.
Right.
We actually ended up having making a rookie mistake in getting a hatch of meat chickens, which are totally different than your regular chickens that lay eggs.
Really?
A little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, a little bit. They grow a lot faster, and you have to
Real quick.
So there's a different chicken then. It's like you have your hens that lay the eggs, and then you have, of course, the ones that we eat, right? So that's what you're saying here. There's that. Oh, okay. I thought it was the same chicken. I didn't know it was.
You can eat those kind of chickens that lay eggs.
Okay.
And broiler hens, because that's what they call meat chickens. Broiler hens can lay eggs, but most of the time they aren't alive long enough.
No.
Oh, gotcha.
You usually process them at like 8 to 12 weeks, so it's pretty quick.
They grow quick, really big.
They grow
really quick,
really fast.
And there's health issues with that if you let them go too far. Like we had one that started walking kind of funny. I'm like, man, there's something wrong with him, and sure enough, his knee went out.
Yeah.
And it was, when we called him,
we learned how to process chickens.
Of course, we checked all that out and to see what the different issues were, and they were like a lot fattier around their organs, and issues with their knees, and it's just so they don't last very long. So you buy them for the meat. You don't buy them to for longevity. Of course.
They're bred for that purpose.
Yeah. And there's some chickens that have a lot of eggs all the time for a long period of time, and some short, some small, some big, different colors, all kinds of craziness. You can, it's pretty interesting to see everything that we've gone through. It's a learning experience.
Been an adventure.
Yes, definitely.
I guess with that one chicken with the legs, since you said it was a little bit more fattier and meatier, they're little bitty legs, chicken legs. Okay, I got those chicken legs. You know what I mean? So if I get too fat up here, my legs are gonna break too. I guess basically that's pretty much what's happening, right? Their bodies, the little legs can't hold up their bodies, right? Pretty much.
They can't, and they're bred that way. They breed them for size.
Wow.
As soon as you can, that way they can be processed and kick them out the door.
Yep.
Wow. Now, when you like, if somebody out there was to start, they say, look, I want to get into this. How do I do this? Because I'm tired of paying these horrible prices, or they just want naturally eggs, right?
Yep.
So do you start with, okay, like you said, you had a half-made chicken coop, and then you finished that, and then you went and purchased the chicken. So now, what does an average chicken cost for like a live one?
Depends on what kind you want. They can go anywhere from $1.50 all the way up to $10.50.
Depends on the kitchen. There's some really rare breeds that can get really expensive, but regular laying chickens, different breeds. There's all kinds of different breeds, and they lay different color eggs. So a lot of people purchase them for that purpose.
Wow.
You're buying for the color of the egg. So.
Right. I've seen like the kind of off-white and then the brown, kind of brownish, real brown ones. Of course, I like the brown ones. They taste really good. For some reason, they just have a better flavor to it.
Oh, you gotta try ours, man.
I bet.
we had to. They go through molting at one point, and they stop laying. So we actually got some eggs from the store. It was not even close.
Totally different, wasn't it?
It was like processed or something. It didn't taste right.
Their color is different. The texture is different. The membrane inside the egg is thicker on ours. Like you can tell that there's a complete different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to feeding, I'm gonna put this picture up real quick. When it comes to feeding the chickens and stuff, so do you guys feed every day, twice a day? How does this work as far as the
Well, when we first started, we used to feed just regular feed. We do a mix of stuff. Again, just getting online and learning to get a good balance of nutrition and protein amounts.
right?
But as we've gone about a year now, and so we're about like 2.5 years into this. Probably about a year in, we decided to start fermenting our own food. So we take the seed and let it sit in some water, and it ferments for a couple days, and it actually gives them some natural probiotics too.
Yep.
So they get regular dry food, they get their mash fermented food, and then
Okay.
they get a lot of greens and meats. Believe it or not, they love meat.
Really?
It's
Yep.
really good protein for
Yep.
them. It's better for the layers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Raw even. I mean, they eat bugs, they eat worms, they eat anything, snakes.
Yeah.
Right.
A snake got in our run once, and I felt bad. I felt bad for that dang thing. I mean, they ran around stealing it from each other. It was crazy,
It was
man.
bad.
Wow.
I wanted to get. I think we got video at one, but I just felt bad for the little thing.
Yeah,
So
I think-
y'all live on the outskirts of South Carolina, right? Like,
Yeah, we're
the
out of the way. Yeah, we're a little out of the way.
so I mean, it's kind of hard to do it in the city. I know because a lot of cities have a lot of rules. But
Yeah.
the best way to do it is to be out, a little further away from the city.
Well,
line.
a lot of cities they have those rules, but you can still get away with like one or two per person who lives in
Right.
the house.
Hens.
Yeah, hens.
You usually can't
no
have roosters in
They are
town.
annoying.
They're really annoying.
Yeah, I've seen the videos of those. You know how they're just constantly going off, constantly just.
And it's not just during the daytime. I hear them 2-3 o'clock in the morning out here. And it's like, really? Seriously? Just go to sleep, man. Relax. The sun's not coming up.
And the more you have, the more they compete with each other.
Yes,
And really, in reality, right? You need one if you want to make more chickens, right?
Right.
You don't really need them for them just to lay in regular eggs.
Right. Regular eggs. If you want eggs, you'll get them all day long.
That's a question we get a lot.
But yeah,
do you need a rooster? No, you
the only
don't.
reason if you want them, fertilization.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've already built. I'm going to put the little picture up, a nice little chicken coop right there. And I've seen one that you have that you posted a picture of. It was kind of like this, almost like little cubbies. So they're pretty much jump inside these little cubbies, and this is where they have their own, or they just go wherever the hell they want to go.
They pretty much. We don't have them outside of the cubbies anymore. Really, there maybe one or two every once in a while, but they like going in their own little areas, and sometimes they'll just use 2, but now they're using 4. So it just goes back and forth. They're a community,
Right.
so they hang out. I've even seen 2 hens in one freaking cubby at one point, and I'm like, really, girls?
We have 6,
Just hanging out.
and they probably utilize 2 or 3 on a regular
Yeah.
basis. So they all lay in the same places.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so you don't really need to go all out with a whole bunch of those cubbies unless you got like 30 or 40 or 50. But yeah, just like 10 or 15, 2 or 3 cubbies, and you'd be fine. Yeah.
So what do you kind of an average? What is the average cost? Let's just say like you guys got 10 chickens, you had your coop, you got to get the eggery, sugars, and then you get the of course the hay or the bedding and all that stuff. What does something like that, an average with 10 chickens, cost to get up and going?
So we figured out the other day that just now that we're in maintenance, not what the repairs that we did to the coop or any of that, but just maintenance, we probably spend about $5 a dozen on cost.
On cost. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not really cost effective,
Yeah.
but you're getting the healthy egg.
Right.
Really, that's the give and take.
And anybody that asks me, is it cost effective or is it worth it? I'm like, if you're doing it for financial purposes, it is absolutely not worth it. We always joke that one egg's like $80. Like it's not, but I mean, like it's not worth it. It's time consuming. You've got to learn a lot. Everything wants to eat your chickens, so you've got to watch for predators. They can get sick, so you've got to know how to fix things like that.
Right.
So I mean, there's lots of pieces and parts that go into it. It's not hard, but you've got to be aware, and you've got to have the time and effort and finances for it, because it's not cost effective.
And we do them in a coop, and they have their own run. So if you had the land to be able to let them free range, it's a lot less expensive because they're filling up on all the wild flowers and grass and everything like that. And you just give them a little bit here and there just to keep them their protein levels and everything,
Right.
So that is a lot more less expensive, but you have to have the land. And if you don't have the extra land and the security from the hawks,
Right.
I was going to say you're more likely to lose them to predators
yeah,
too. When they
definitely.
range.
Coyotes, things like that, especially out here in
Yeah.
South Texas. We got a bunch of
So,
those.
so you can do it. It's just you've got to be extra vigilant.
Right.
We have a dog or a hog out here walking around all the time. We haven't had the flying predators, thank goodness. They fly around and you hear them, but they haven't come in yet.
Wow.
So.
Wow. So what does a bag of feed will cost? Like one bag of feed, and how long does that last for 10 chickens? Let's just say.
So, to put it in our range, because we have about 22 hens, we have about 35 chickens
about 35
right now. So
altogether.
that's kind of we buy 2 bags of regular feed, a bag of scratch grains, and another bag of flock feeder. It helps with their feathers and stuff.
Right.
And then a half a bag of black seeds.
And we mix it all together.
Sunflower seeds.
And we do it in a big 80-pound bag or jug thing. And then we put a bunch of herbs in it that help with, parasitic control and all kinds of fun things for their health, like
healthy
red pepper flakes and oregano and stuff like that.
Right.
And that probably runs us easily $150, $200 a month.
A month. Okay.
Well,
so
about a month and a half.
A month and a half.
Yeah, the big thing lasts about a month and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you're spending on an average feed about what, $2-3, maybe $5 a day, maybe something like that. So
I think didn't we do it by the egg?
Yeah, by the egg it was about $5 a dozen.
A dozen, yeah.
A dozen. Okay.
After building the coop and the fence, the run, and all that kind of stuff. So we're just in that area where everything's smoothly running maintenance. Yeah.
Now is having 22 of these, in other words, is that enough for you guys, or do you think you need like 5 or 10 more to keep going?
We sell some, so yeah, we have family that buys them from us.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, and it keeps them nice and healthy, your food, and we have a stand out on the road that I built, and we put eggs out there and sell them.
Beautiful, awesome.
Yeah. So it helps the neighbors. It's mainly just the neighbors. We've got like probably 2 or 3 neighbors that come by, and
wow,
it helps toward the food costs and all that.
And like we were talking about earlier, it's pretty healthy. And I was kind of looking at this real quick. I'm just going to read this. It gives you strong muscles because it's got, of course, the protein. It helps repair body tissues. It's good for brain health as well. With the vitamins that you need for the minerals for the brain. It gives you energy production. So the eggs can do that for you as well. Produce a lot of energy. For immune systems, it has vitamin A, vitamin B12. Selenium in eggs, and it helps keep your immune system up, right? So we have that going for us too. Lower risk of heart disease, right? That it helps kind of bring that issue down for your, of course, for us as we get older, it's harder for us to move. It just, we love to eat kind of more than anybody else does. That's just the way it is. So it helps with eye health. It helps with pregnancy health as well. So it has a lot of benefits, right? And it says even weight loss and maintenance and even skin health. So just think about that. And we're eating the crap eggs, let's just say that, from the stores, and you guys are actually eating the eggs that are glowing gold, right?
Yeah,
they're beautiful. Yeah,
you would think that more people would be looking into purchasing like eggs like yours, or just eating those kind of eggs, because the benefits of having clean food, you're not throwing so much crap into these foods, you have healthy chickens. Of course, we talked about how they killed off all these chickens last year because of the bird flu. Now, do you guys does that kind of get you weary every once in a while because of the bird flu?
It's a little bit of a worry because the other birds, the wild birds around, can bring stuff to them. We tend to protect ours pretty well. They've got a cover, so every now and then a bird gets in to the area, but we haven't had any problems yet. We hope it stays that way.
Good.
We've got a
Good.
lot of mockingbirds around here that keep the flying predators away too. So, and
Nice.
they don't really mess with them a whole lot. These guys start squawking like crazy, and then it scares them away. So,
Wow.
and we're not really close to anybody else that has a lot of egg layers, hens, and we've got one couple over there and one couple way over that way. But other than that, hopefully we don't get hit.
Well, I mean,
You
y'all have them pretty healthy anyway, right? I mean, you're giving them these nice herbs and everything to kind of keep them real healthy. So
going back to the nutrition, you think that little egg has got everything in it to make a life,
right?
So everything that life needs is in there. So when you consume that, you're giving that to yourself.
I mean, they call eggs one of the perfect foods for a reason.
They're pretty amazing. They're good.
Yeah, my son was just telling me that when we were a little while ago during lunch, and he was just telling me about that. He goes, I didn't realize that eggs had so much. That's what he ate for lunch, actually. And he's like, there's just so much benefit to eggs, right? And it's good it's very healthy for you in the mornings. And now we had, of course, those studies saying that the eggs were bad for you. They, high cholesterol, yada yada yada, blah blah.
Yeah.
I mean, does that really bother you as far as that when people still say that today?
No, it's been proven absolutely wrong. It has been debunked completely. It was a bad study that was done a long time ago. So absolutely not.
Wow. So we talked about, how this happened, in last year, November and December. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. From a small chick to a full grown hen, how long is that process? Is it before they start laying eggs?
Before they start laying eggs, it varies a little bit.
A little bit.
But it ranges from about 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months. Okay.
Yes. From hatching to laying eggs on a regular basis, realistically, it's about 6 to 8 months. You read that it's shorter, but it really depends on the breed of chicken too.
Yeah.
But in general,
a lot of those ones that do it sooner don't do it for longevity either. So you get one that's right in the middle, and then you're only going to get 2, maybe 3 years out of production.
Wow.
So that's why you need to bring more into the flock, hatch them at a certain point. That way you don't have a deficit.
Yeah, and I was looking at this story actually of this gentleman that he had. Let me see. He had about 17,000 chickens, but they're the white ones. He had his own company, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, from the bird flu came in, they had to put them all down and destroy all those eggs, right? Millions of eggs. But he had those white chickens. Now, when you were talking about this earlier, that it's a different chicken, it has a shorter lifespan, because they're feeding it. I'm going to put it to you this way: they're feeding it crap, right? Pretty much. It's something to make the egg whiter, right? And they put things in it so of course, you were talking about the yolk is not as thick, and the longevity of the chicken is it's short, right? Yeah. So what is that pretty much telling you on the long run, like health wise? Is it healthy to eat the ones from the store or not? I don't know.
Well, they're not giving them proper food, nutrition to make the eggs nice and healthy.
Right.
They don't give them all the extra stuff like we do, and when you don't do that, you've got something wrong. And the it's not healthy for the chicken. It's not healthy for the person.
And I've heard stories. I'm in a lot of chicken groups. It's how I learned a lot from, experience of other people. It's funny. You hear a lot of stories about people being sensitive to some eggs, and it's usually the contents of what the chickens are eating when they're laying. So people that are sensitive to soy, if chickens are being fed soy products,
right,
they have sensitivity to the eggs.
Right.
If it's corn, they're going to get fatter quicker, the chickens, and when they lay eggs, that's what it's based off of. So when you stay away from those kind of things and you feed them, organic, cleaner foods, they're going to have cleaner eggs. I mean, it's the same things that we have with meat too.
Right. I mean, like we talked about, the give and take of what you're giving is what you're getting, and just like you talked about, it's a better egg. It's better for you. You put it in your body, and it just makes you feel better. Now we know that the prices of eggs have gone up tremendously. We saw the charts that I put up earlier, and it's been affecting actually a lot of businesses out there, because what do we have out there that we get at the stores? Waffles, hello, cakes, cookies, bread, or whatever, whatever kind of bread you're going to eat with an egg in it, but it's affecting a lot of businesses out there, and they're having to raise their prices to offset the price of the egg, right? So I'm going to put on this article real quick so you guys can see it, and it's talking about that, how it's affecting this bakery. All right, so let's check this out real quick.
Noticing the egg prices on our grocery receipts looking higher than usual. And data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture shows a 2.2% expected inflation rate for all food in 2025. Well, KGUN 9's Jacqueline Aguilar is off of University in Tyndall with more.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture's food price outlook shows that egg prices are expected to go up 20% this year.
In December, the average price of a dozen grade A large eggs was $4.15. Right now, a dozen eggs are about $6. Krista LeBron, owner of Chez Peachy Bento Cake Cafe, finds the egg price increase challenging. Unfortunately, this is something she's dealt with before.
As I started off as a home baker, I definitely saw a very large price increase in ingredients, and of course eggs was one of the top ones, but I didn't think it would reach to this point.
The Consumer Price Index shows egg prices went up 37% over the last year. A year ago, LeBron was paying between $70 to $90 for 15 dozen eggs. Now she pays about $165 for the same amount.
That's like a massive price increase, and honestly it took us a bit aback, but we can't really operate without eggs, so we kind of have no choice.
Since LeBron uses up to 100 eggs a week, she had to adjust her pricing.
We're grateful for the support that we've been getting from our customers, and I honestly feel like without them we wouldn't be able to keep buying those expensive ingredients, so it's been working out for us so far.
Organizations like PETA stepping in to inform about egg substitutions to those who are not buying them anymore.
Some of the cheapest things in the grocery store are vegan items. So a block of tofu can be anywhere from $2 to $3. There are many other wonderful swaps available, including Wonder Egg. You can use flaxseed, chickpeas, chickpea flour, and even aquafaba, which is the liquid from canned chickpeas.
For now, LeBron keeps her fingers crossed, hoping that egg prices will fall.
Definitely do feel bad for other businesses that it could be impacting in a larger scale, because no matter what, if it keeps increasing, it's really going to take a toll on multiple businesses, probably including ours too.
Reporting in Midtown off University.
All right. So could you guys hear that? Or you can hear? Okay. So they're pretty much just talking about, this woman's business that she was, it was affecting her. She's having to pay almost double for what she is for eggs, because it's her bakery business. Of course, everybody loves her stuff, but she has to go up on her prices. Now, have you been seeing that in the area where you live, when you all go out to the store or anything like that?
Yeah, I've definitely seen the price has been increasing.
Wow. Has it been going up a lot, or just kind of such a small gradual thing? Because they're saying it's going to go up at least 60 more %.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not
crazy.
Surprised.
It
It affects
is crazy.
everything,
Oh, no.
or a lot of things.
So ours are even cheaper.
Yeah, that's true. I went to the store the other day, and then I went to get some just last week or a week and a half ago. I get the 18 pack of eggs, whatever. And over here was like $4. I was like, all right, that's cool. I grabbed that. I went a week later, it was up to almost $7. I'm like, it went up $3. Are you kidding me? Are these chickens on strike or what? What's going on here? Right. But it's because what you said, it takes 6 months at least, from since what did this go down? September, November, somewhere on there.
Yeah.
And so now the new chickens, by the time they start producing and then getting the flow in to the general public, it'll still be about a month or two away, right? At least.
Depends on what kind they're using.
But yeah, I mean,
It
it's
can
still going
take
to be a
up to
delay.
6 months before they get any from them. So yeah, it could be a couple more months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's just one of those things that it's a learning process for people that want to get into this, and if it might be too expensive, or it might be a lot of work, but you know what, I believe that the benefits are there as far as the health benefits from a healthy egg, especially when you know that you've done it yourself. Well, fed the chickens yourself, and then
Yeah.
you get the what comes with it. Now, how the kids, how do they like the eggs?
And it's very rewarding. Everybody gets involved a little bit.
It is.
Even them coming out and being, participants in this, and we're doing it more than just with the chickens too. We're making a lot of lifestyle changes. So it's kind of contagious into other areas of our lives too, that we really want to pay attention to what food we're putting into our bodies. And,
Right.
and it affects the kids, and, how they're seeing what we're bringing into the house, and their nutritional value. So
And what it
that's
takes to
huge.
get the meat,
Yeah,
to the chickens.
yeah,
And not only that is it's kind of, it helps out with stress.
Yeah.
You get in there and even cleaning the coop.
Right.
Who wants to do that?
Right.
But the thing is, you get in there and these things are so silly, man. They
Yeah.
do some stupid things. They make you laugh, So I'm in there laughing, taking pictures, sending them to her, bugging her at work, and I'm like, this is just, it's nutty. They're funny little things to have around.
they're entertaining.
Now, here's another question for you. Is it hard to not to connect with these chickens as a friend or a buddy? You know what I mean? Is it hard just to keep that part away from what you're doing?
It is.
It is.
And when we have to process chickens for one reason or another,
Right.
whether it's for food or because we have too many roosters or whatever it's a little hard to do it. But you're thankful for what they're giving you, and especially with like the meat chickens and something, that you've got to do this because their life is at an end.
And who goes naming them? I'm like, really? I'm going to have to call these things in a little bit, and then you're naming them. All right, come on, Freddie. Sorry, buddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's part of life.
It is.
It's part
It
of
is.
doing this.
Yeah.
It's just part of the process.
Yep.
I watch a lot of those shows of Alaskan and the people are out there in the bush and all that good stuff. And they always talk about that. We don't name the animals because once you do that, you get attached to it. And then, the day comes where all this snows here for about 3-4 months and they got to eat it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, unfortunately, little Charlie or little Billy or whatever you're going to call it, it's got to go, but it is what it is on that point, and I'm sure that's the hardest part about doing that
It is.
in the process. Now, I know when you have to do all the gory stuff, I mean, is it just usually one person doing it or everybody's kind of helping out with that stuff too?
The first few times we did it, we really got everybody involved. The kids didn't love it, but I think it was important to see and understand and appreciate where your food comes from, really. So they participated. They don't always join us when we do, but
Right. But they like the fried chicken that comes off the grill.
they do eat it.
Yep.
Yep, they eat the eggs every day.
Good. Well, that's a good thing, and like I said, we have to get people have to know the goods and the bads of this, and the healthy parts of it, and you guys explained it all today. Now, is there anything that you want people to know out there before we close the show on the difficultness of doing this, or is it going to be a ride? What do you guys think out there for people?
I think the biggest part to take away is if it's something that you're interested in, learn first.
Yeah.
Get a good, understanding of what you need for their habitat, for their food,
Safety.
for their safety before you get them. Because yes, chicks are cute and you go buy them, but once you've got them, they're a life, and they can provide for you a lot and give you something really, really nutritious,
Right.
or you can kill them because you don't know what you're doing. So.
Right.
So it's really important to learn before you jump in. But once you do, it's an adventure. If you've got the time and the effort to spend on it and the love of it, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, you were talking about these groups. Is there a Facebook group or anything like that people would probably want to follow just to kind of get?
There's a lot of them. You can find ones in your area.
Okay.
I'm probably on, I don't know, probably 6 different Facebook groups with chicken related stuff or homesteading stuff.
Right.
And I think there's 2 that are local to my area. which is really nice because then you've got resources right by you, or people that you can lean on. So that's nice. But learning from these groups and other people's experiences is huge. It's just, it's a huge part of what I've been through.
Wow. Well, I learned a little bit today about chickens, things I didn't know. There was two different kinds. I thought it was just one chicken, but hey, this is what this show is for, to teach people as well. And I just want to thank you guys, both of you guys, for being on America's Podcast and teaching and just showing people what it's like to actually raise and do the farming, let's just say, of chickens and hens and eggs and the proteins and the benefits and everything that comes along with it. Thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks. Yeah,
awesome. All right, guys. So we'll go ahead and close out the show. We'll talk to you soon. And thank you for being on the show. And like I said, y'all been great. You got anything else you want to share? Give me a call. We'll get you back on. Okay.
Thanks.
Sounds great.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
See you soon. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. It was a great one, man. I love them. They give us a lot of insights on chickens and a lot of knowledge and things I didn't even know about. Especially with the grains and the nutritional values of having chickens and eggs and of course it might be a little expensive, but at the same time you're getting the health benefits that comes with doing your own processing as far as the eggs, the chickens, and feeding them organic foods, things like that Amanda talked about. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I apologize for the beginning of not turning my mic on. I'm sure I look like a mime because you weren't hearing anything, but thank you guys for watching today here on Rumble and on YouTube. I really appreciate it. You'll catch the audio podcast here tomorrow on Spreaker. You'll be hearing it live there. Of course, I got to edit it because you didn't hear me for a little while there, but I hope you guys had a good one. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show, got a little bit out of it. And man, let me know if you guys get your own chickens and get your own eggs. I really like to know. Send me some pictures. America's Podcast, send them to me at on my instant messenger on America's Podcast. I'll be glad to throw them out there for everybody to see. All right. So then we'll see you guys on the next one. Enjoy today, man. Remember, freedom and America first. We'll see you soon.